The scene is set this evening in an average residential neighborhood in Ford's Landing. There's an individual laden with bag and toolbox, clothes slightly tattered or worn, makes his way down the street, looking around and about, letting his mind and imagination wander. Taking him back to when he was a child, dreaming of living in houses like this. He continues walking. He doesn't stand by, he doesn't linger too long in one place. That would attract too much attention. He keeps his head down a bit. Pulls up the hood on a likewise well-worn hooded sweatshirt he picked up at a secondhand store. About 30 minutes earlier. Keeping it close to his face, keeping his face down a little bit, and readjusting his glasses to make sure he can see. He takes careful steps as he goes down the street. He doesn't walk too close to walls. And with people, he gives them wide berth. Unsure of himself still, even after 12 months. The glow that comes back in his eyes, he hasn't gotten used to. Making his way further north through the city and across the bridge. As he comes halfway, he can see the lights of a familiar campus that last year he attended. He lets his mind wander a little bit, go to places of what could have been. And he shakes his head, keeps walking. Thinking for a few moments afterwards, a few steps further. He'll be back there again. Some time passes, and he steps. He gets further in to this coastal area of the pond. Taking out his inactive cell phone, he opens the setting using the Wi-Fi radio as a detection tool. He doesn't find anything for some time, continues walking, looking for some place to sit, some place perhaps to work, some place to send a letter, an email to those he's lost contact with. He tries not to ever hold a grudge against the woman who brought this life to him. But he does worry about his future. He'll get in contact with her at some point. It's been some time. At least 3 months since he's seen his sire. Continuing walking, he passes what's commonly known as a student living area for the university. When he notices the sound of alert from the cell phone in his hand, pulling it out of the pocket of the sweatshirt, he notices a signal. He turns off the radio, turns off the phone, placing it into a pocket. He reaches for another of his front pockets, carefully checking his wallet. Seeing $10. He knows his cash won't go far. Caution and careful steps. It's all he can do to make that last. He steps closer to the cafe, looking up at the sign, or marquee above the door. Desperate Dads. He remembers passing this place a few times, even coming here when he needed to stay up late to study for a test or to catch up. Walking through the doors, he doesn't make any boisterous motions, just walks up to the counter, orders a cup of coffee. The attendant at the counter, if he would like anything else, pastry, sandwich. Edwin just shakes his head. Just the coffee. Doesn't take too long. Edwin finds a table in the corner, as out of the way as you can get in a coffee shop like this. Setting his toolbox down and his bag, takes out his laptop, turns it on. A few moments later, a couple of alerts. He types away a little bit. Damn. Shit. I'll have to deal with that. Okay. Stupid spam viruses. He makes quick work of them. Opens his browser. Logs into his email account. He takes a moment after opening up a new message, new composition. He takes a sip of the coffee, only very slightly sweetened. Who first? Who first? Suppose Leslie. As he places his coffee down and his hands back at his keyboard. Dearest Miss Andrews. Backspace is quick. No. That's not good. Dearest Leslie, it's been some time. I'm very aware that several people have taken notice of my absence. Let me assure you, I'm safe now. It's been hard, to say the least. It's been difficult getting away from my... And he pauses for a moment, scratches the indentation in his nose. Kidnappers. I was outside the city for a time, but the authorities in that area have been made aware, and I'm back home now. I don't have a phone at the moment. If you reply to this letter, I'll get in contact with you. We'll meet up, and I'll let you see that I'm okay. And then he signs the email. Edwin. He hits the button to send the message, picking up his cup, taking another sip. Yeah, it feels like so long. What am I ever going to do? He hesitates for a moment. Thinking of other people he could get in contact with. He remembers his supervisor and trainer, his job with the city. His job with the city. As he sits for a little bit, he opens another new composition, this time to his former supervisor and trainer, Carol, to let her know he's back home, safe. Safe. What is safety? What is security? Back home and well, he makes a slight correction. There have been some changes to his lifestyle. Differences in schedule now than there were before. He doesn't ask for any kind of assistance in trying to get back to where he was. He just lets her know. Sends the message. Sends the email. Takes another sip of coffee. $7:25. Or no, 7:45. It's still early. Night's still young. Sets his coffee down. And he starts looking around the city. Or he starts looking at the virtual representation of New Serum to try to find a squat, another place to hole up before the day comes, as the scene comes to an end.